Hello everyone, a very good evening to all of you. Uh, I hope I'm clearly audible to every one of you. Let me just see whether I'm clearly audible or not. If you guys are not able to listen to me or if there is any kind of glitch, then you can please inform me here so that I can rectify it and we can move ahead in the session. I hope I'm clearly audible to everyone of. Okay, so I'm clearly audible. So let's begin with the session of June, which is going to be really exciting, and at the same time, it is a very important session because all of you know that this is the month prior to your exam date, right? So definitely every question that is there in this month can become a potential mark for you. Okay, so okay, so as far as the doubts regarding PDF are going on, so let me tell you the PDF that from which I am going to teach in this session, that PDF will be provided to you on the Telegram channel, and the link of the channel is in the description below. Okay, that is one thing. Another thing is that I am providing you daily PDFs of current affairs. From there you have to study. Plus at the end of this month, I am going to provide you the monthly PDF, that is your Spotlight magazine. Plus, we are going to conduct the Maha Marathon session just before the examination date, and that would be a session of Spotlight, PIB, and RBI 247. Okay, so you are going to have a lot before your examination for your preparation, so don't worry. Okay, now I hope we are good to go. So let's begin with the first question. Recently, Ministry of Electronics and IT has launched the Electronics Repair Service Outsourcing Pilot Initiative. Where is the pilot of this project launched? So here guys, Bangalore is the right answer. The pilot of this initiative will be launched in Bangalore. Just give me a second. Okay, so first of all, what is this? Electronics repair service outsourcing. First of all, let me tell you that India wants to become the repair capital of the world, okay? Because not only the world generate a lot of electronic waste, and nowadays e-waste is becoming a very big issue in front of the world because we are not able to decompose that e-waste. Okay, so what are we trying to do? Not only us as Indians, but the entire world is looking at the repair services so that we can repair the electronic goods at the maximum level at which they can be repaired. Okay, what will happen through this? The electronic waste will be reduced, because suppose if you have a smartphone which you leave just after using 1 or 2 years, okay, and just because there is some lag in your smartphone or there is some kind of a minor issue and you're not going for repair, firstly because the repair is costly, and secondly the new technology is coming up for that mobile. So these can be the reasons for you to leave your smartphone, and this leaving of smartphone can increase the e-waste in the market. Okay, so in order to reduce this e-waste, repair services will be provided at minimal or nominal cost, and that is the objective of the Indian government's repair policy as well. And secondly, the companies are also told not to change the technology so easily and so frequently in order to reduce the e-waste. Okay, so I hope that you have understood the landscape of repair services and the e-waste, and how is this electronic repair service outsourcing initiative important for India, because now India wants to become the repair capital. And suppose that if we become the repair capital of the world, then what will happen? The repaired goods or the goods which need repairing will come to India, and this is how we are providing the outsourcing services for the electronics goods. Okay, so this is another sector like we did in the IT services. We became one of the major exporters of the services in the world, and now we are eyeing that in the e-waste segment. I hope that much is clear. Now let's move ahead with the news. So Ministry of Electronics and IT has launched this Electronics Repair Service Outsourcing Pilot Initiative. India wants to become the repair capital of the world. world, India aims to become the most attractive repair destination of the information and communication technology products globally. That I have already told you. Over the next 5 years, this particular industry is likely to fetch India up to $20 billion in revenue and generate millions of jobs. I have already told you that the world right now is focusing on the e-waste repairing and recycling, because we do not have any sustainable solution at present to decompose the e-waste. Okay, so that is why we are focusing on this thing, and the entire globe is running after the repair services, and this is the potential sector which India can tap. The pilot for outsourcing is being tested in Bangalore, and 5 companies, Flex, Lenovo, CTDI, R-Logic and F4Serve have volunteered for the pilot. They are going to offer the repair services. India is the 3rd largest producer of e-waste after China and US. Okay, and therefore we need to adopt e-waste sustainable practices. The repair economy is worth $1,100 billion. Okay, this we can definitely assess how, why and how. Ministry of Commerce, Consumer Affairs has set up a committee to come up with a right to repair framework. Okay, the framework is significant as it will give consumers a chance to repair their products at an optimal cost instead of buying new products, okay, altogether. So this will not only reduce the manufacturing of new electronic products, but it will also increase the lifespan of the existing electronics products, thus leading to a minimum or lesser e-waste generation. Where is the National Training Center for Food Safety and Standards Authority of India established? Okay, so it is Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh. Okay, the training center is called Lok Swasth Arpan Bhavan. Okay, an e-learning application named as Food Safety and Certification has been developed by the Food Safety Standards Authority of India, and it contains the learning and training module about food safety guidelines. And also it includes the guidelines on proper food handling, storage, hygiene practices, etc. for the street vendors. Okay? Recently, India launched India's first performance-based navigation system for helicopters for a flight from Juhu to Pune using Dash satellite technology. This satellite technology is a space-based augmentation system for providing the best possible navigational services over the Indian flight information region with the capability of expanding to neighboring regions. Okay? So which satellite technology was used to provide the navigation satellite or navigation facility to the helicopter that went from Juhu to Pune? The right answer is Gagan. Okay, right now you must know this fact that India is working on Navik as well, which is a GPS system, which is similar to a GPS system, but this is developed by ISRO, and it is our own GPS system. Now moving to this news, India has launched the Asia's first performance-based navigation system for the helicopter, and Gagan satellite was used for that. Gagan stands for GPS-aided GEO, augmented navigation. The purpose of this navigation system is to enhance the accuracy along the high quality air traffic management. So that is a very basic thing, and you need not to remember this thing, but yes, Gagan ki full form they can ask you. So please remember the full form of Gagan. Airport Authority of India and ISRO have collaborated to develop the Gagan as a regional satellite based augmentation system, and this system augments the satellite based navigation services. So basically navigation services are used from the satellite or obtained from the satellite. Recently, Union Cabinet has approved the constitution of an interministerial committee for facilitation of the world's largest grain storage plan in cooperative sector. The plan aims to converge various schemes of the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, and Ministry of Food Processing Industries. Which of the following schemes will be converged under the plan? So you have 5 schemes in front of you. Agriculture Infrastructure Fund, Agriculture Marketing Infrastructure Scheme, Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture, Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada, Matsya Sampada. So which of these schemes would not be converged under this world's largest grain storage plan? So here guys, option E, sorry, this fifth scheme here, that is Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, is not going to be merged with this program. Okay, so here the right answer is option D, 1, 2, 3 and 4. I have already taught you this thing, that an inter-ministerial committee is going to be created by the Union Cabinet for creating the world's largest grain storage plan in the cooperative sector. We already know this fact that majority of our food wastage is due to the warehousing and storage facilities, due to the lack of these facilities in India. Now the government is planning to create the grain storage infrastructure in India, and that's the basic idea behind this committee. That's the basic function of this committee. Now the schemes which will be merged under this plan are Agriculture Infrastructure Fund, Agriculture Marketing Infrastructure Scheme, Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture, Submission on Agriculture Mechanization, Pradhan Mantri Formalization of Micro Food Processing Enterprises Scheme, Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Scheme, allocation of food grains under the National Food Security Act, procurement at MSP. Okay, so suppose if by using all these schemes the storage is done under this plan, that the stored grains will be used by the government under the NFSA to distribute at the PDS systems, and also they will be procured at MSP. Okay, so this is how all these schemes will work in convergence to obtain synergy and work for enhancing the storage capacity in India. A national level coordination committee will be created to implement this plan, and a portal for the linkages of PACs, primary agriculture cooperative societies, with the government of India and state government will be created, because PACs are the very grassroots level credit societies. Okay, so they need to be integrated for the betterment of the agriculture and the farmers. Central government has approved the city investments to innovate, integrate and sustain 2.0 to support projects promoting a circular economy with focus on integrated urban management. What is the tenure of this program? So here guys, 5 years is the tenure of this program. Central government has recently approved the 2.0 version of this scheme. So it aims to support the projects which promote a circular economy with a focus on integrated urban management. Okay, the tenure is 5 years, from 2023 to 2027. Partners are French Development Agency, then you have KfW, the German agency, European Union, National Institute of Urban Affairs, which is an institution under the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Okay, one more thing, that this long difficult name is not required to be remembered by you guys. You just need to remember KfW, German agency is going to partner. Funding support, a loan of 1,760 crore or 200 million euros will be given by the French agency AFD. KfW will be contributing 100 million euros, and a technical assistance of rupees 106 crore will be given by EU. Okay. Cities 1.0 was launched in 2018 by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. There also the French agency, EU and this institution within the ambit of Ministry of Housing was partners. Okay. These were the partners in Cities 1.0 as well, but KfW has joined in the 2.0 mission. Do remember, the outlay of 1.0 mission was 933 crore rupees. Guys, I guess you are talking about this plan, Cities 2.0. So 2023 to 2027 is the tenure. This is the 5-year tenure for which this program will be implemented. Which state has launched Namo Shetkari Samman Yojana to provide 6,000 rupees a year as minimum income support to farmers? So Maharashtra has launched this scheme. Okay, so this amount will be given to the farmers. Along with this amount, the state government will provide 6,000 rupees to the farmers, and 6,000 rupees will be given under the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi. So a total of 12,000 rupees will be given to the farmers of Maharashtra. 6,000 from the central government scheme and 6,000 from the state government scheme. And the state scheme is Namo Shetkari Samman Yojana. I hope this question is visible, guys. Let me see. Yes, it is visible. Which of the following statements are incorrect about the 76th edition of the World Health Assembly? You can read the statements and give me the right answer. Okay, so which statement is incorrect from these statements? So here, guys, this third statement is incorrect. Option B is the right answer. Let me tell you why is it incorrect and what all has happened in the World Health Assembly. First of all, Taiwan was excluded from attending the 76th World Health Assembly. Taiwan's bid to attend this assembly was rejected because China resisted against it. Okay, this is not a very big thing to remember, just for your general awareness that you should be aware of this fact. Okay, now one more thing, that the General Assembly of the World Health Organization is the apex organization within the framework of WHO. Next is, at the assembly, Indian Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya addressed a side event which was on Heal in India and Heal by India. Okay, sometimes side events are also asked in your last year's examination of ESI, I guess. Raisina dialogue pe you were given the question, and there was a question on the side events that took place alongside the Raisina event. Okay, so this is why it is important for you to cover the side events as well. Now, the global strategy for women's, children's and adolescents health was discussed at the assembly. So this strategy is from 2016 to 2030, and it aims to reduce the malnutrition in women, children and adolescents, and it aims to increase or basically create a roadmap for ending all preventable maternal, newborn and child deaths, including the stillbirth, by 2030. The strategy includes a monitoring framework with 60 indicators, of which 16 are key. Okay, that is why the third statement was wrong. There are 60 indicators and 16 indicators are very important. Next is WHO's program budget for 2024 to 2025. For this particular budget, $6.83 billion were approved. WHO Sustainable Financing Working Group was launched in January 2021 to ensure the optimum usage of the WHO's finances. Okay, so this group also was there in the assembly, and the recommendations of this group were also discussed, which is not very important for us from this exam's perspective, so we are definitely skipping that. But one more thing, that the working group, this group has 6 officials, a chairperson and 5 vice chairpersons. Global Alliance for Drowning Prevention. So WHO has adopted the resolution to establish this alliance, and this resolution was proposed by Bangladesh and Ireland, and WHO has adopted that resolution. So this is the first alliance to address the global public health concerns, that is the drowning here issue, until 2029. Okay, so this alliance has a time frame that is until 2029 at present. The Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovation is an innovative global partnership between public, private, philanthropic and civil society organizations launched in Davos in 2017 to develop vaccines to stop future pandemics. Okay, since then, CEPI has significantly expanded the scale of its centralized laboratory network. The Epidemic and Pandemic Vaccine Testing Laboratory Network identified the joiners of this network as of June 2023. Okay, so in June, 4 African nations and 1 nation from Asia have joined, and those nations are Senegal, India and Kenya from these options. Okay, plus South Africa and Uganda. So these are the 5 nations which have joined this network in June 2023. Okay, so 5 members have joined. 4 are from Africa, 1 is from India, and this network now has 15 partner facilities in 13 countries. One more thing, guys, if you have paid attention to the launch year of CEPI, then you would find that it is in 2017, way before your COVID pandemic. Okay, so this organization was already there, although with the advent of COVID pandemic, this organization came into the spotlight and many news were there about CEPI, but do remember it was formed way back than the COVID pandemic. The CLN, that is Centralized Laboratory Network, is the largest group to standardize and accelerate the evaluation of vaccines against epidemics and pandemic diseases. CEPI has set 100 days mission to reduce vaccine development timelines to just 100 days after identifying a new pathogen with epidemic and pandemic potential. Guys, this can become a question in your examination. Let me tell you how. So they can ask you that which organization has set this target of 100 days mission, okay, and in that you will be given different options. So then you should remember that it is CEPI that has set this 100 days mission for itself. From India, the ICMR's National Institute of Virology has joined this network, and Senegal, Kenya, South Africa and Uganda are the other 4 nations. CEPI was created in 2017. The headquarters is in Oslo, Norway. From India, Anand Ekambaram is on the board of CEPI, who has been named as the Smile Ambassador of Maharashtra's Swachh Mukh Abhiyan, a campaign that promotes oral hygiene. So it is Sachin Tendulkar. The Swachh Mukh Abhiyan is the national campaign undertaken by the Indian Dental Association to improve the oral health and hygiene and educate people about that. When is the World Multiple Sclerosis Day observed? So May 30 is the date. Sclerosis, guys, is the disease that crimples the neurons in the body, and thus it hampers the brain and nervous system's capability. Theme of this day is connections. Okay, connections ही है इसका theme बस. On this day, MS Connections campaign was organized to build the community connections, self connection and connection to the quality care. Now let me tell you why connection is the theme, because the connection between the brain and the nervous system hampers because of this sclerosis disease, and that is why connection has been chosen as the theme. The campaign's tagline is I connect, we connect, and the campaign's hashtag is MS Connections. The theme color of this day is orange. Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disability under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment is organizing the activity on this day in India. Okay, guys, do remember the theme color, the hashtag, the slogan and the theme. So here multiple sclerosis definition has been given to you. It causes the damage to the insulating covers of the nerve cells in the brain and the spinal cord, and it disrupts the ability of the parts of the nervous system to transmit signal from brain to the physical, you can say, to the rest of the body, and that is why connection has been chosen as the theme. Recently, Shri Hardeep Singh Puri, Minister of Housing and Urban Affairs and Petroleum and Natural Gas, organized an event at Vigyan Bhavan, New Delhi to celebrate the completion of 3 successful years of PM Swanidhi scheme. PM Swanidhi is Prime Minister Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi, under which 10,000 rupees is given to the street vendors as working capital loan. At the event, the minister launched a PM Swanidhi mobile application for the street vendors to ease the loan application process and provide various information to street vendors regarding the scheme. There was already a mobile application of PM Swanidhi for the lending institutions and their field functionaries for sourcing and processing the loan applications of the street vendors under the scheme. When was the mobile application for the LIs launched? Lending institutions के लिए प्रधानमंत्री स्वानिधि schemes application was launched in which year? So here, guys, 2020 is the right answer. So let me just make the distinction very clear to you. 2 applications are there. One was launched in 2020 and another one has been launched in 2023. The application which was launched in 2020, that application is for the lending institutions, for the banks and their functionaries. Okay, so it is like your backend which the banks will use, banks or the lending institutions will use to process the loan applications of the Swanidhi beneficiaries, that is the street vendors. But this application which has been launched in 2023, it is for the street vendors. So if they want to apply for the scheme, if they want to know more about the scheme, or if they want to do anything about the scheme, want to know anything about the scheme, they can use this application which has been launched now. Okay, so I hope that it is now clear. This is for the supply side and this is for the demand side. This is how you can put it to understand the distinction. Okay, but guys, do not get confused because there are two separate applications. One more thing has happened apart from the launch of this mobile application, and that is that a facility for Udyam registration has been launched, and obtaining the Udyam Assist certificate by the street vendors has been made, you can say, easy. Okay, on the Swanidhi portal. So what does this mean? It means that now the street vendors will be able to obtain the Udyam Assist certificate. Okay? Because now the government has integrated the Udyam registration portal with the PM Swanidhi portal. And it will provide easy access to the vendors for obtaining the Udyam registration certification for the promotion of their businesses. Udyam registration is for the MSMEs, right? The lending institutions which have performed good in the PM Swanidhi scheme, they have been given awards. So in the category of banks, SBI has been given the award, Bank of Baroda has been given the award, and Union Bank has been given the award. In the regional rural banks category, Andhra Pradesh Gramin Vikas Bank is the top-notch performer. State cooperative banks, Srinidhi Credit Cooperative Federation Limited is the top-notch performer in the PM Swanidhi scheme, and these awards are important. Which of the following statements is that correct with regards to the Govardhan initiative? Govardhan stands for Galvanizing Organic Bioagro Resources Dhan. So here you have the three statements. You can read the statements. First is 500 new waste to wealth plants will be established under the Govardhan scheme. Drinking water and sanitation department under the Ministry of Jal Shakti is the coordinating department of Govardhan. Out of the 500 plants that will be established under this scheme, 200 will be compressed biogas plants. So guys, all these statements are correct. So option D is the right answer. So Ministry of Jal Shakti has recently launched the unified registration portal for the Govardhan scheme. Govardhan is an umbrella initiative that aims to promote the conversion of organic waste like cattle dung into biogas, compressed biogas, and compressed natural gas. Okay, so this is how we are going to use the bio waste. Guys, this scheme has now come in the news. Please prepare the scheme thoroughly because you can see I have made the question from the scheme itself and not from the current news. Okay, so I'm not saying that current news is not relevant. Current news से भी आपसे कुछ भी पूछा जा सकता है, but the scheme is very very important. तो scheme का every fact should be on your tips. Okay, so 500 new waste to wealth plants will be created under the Govardhan scheme for promoting the circular economy. Okay, on the one side the waste is generated, that waste is recycled, and then that recycled waste again enters into the consumption state. Okay, so this is how the circular economy is going to be there. Okay, production, consumption, and recycling. So in the wastage stage, we are not wasting the product, we are recycling the product. That's the basic idea of circular economy. And when we talked about the electronics waste or the repairing sector, so we also focused on the circular economy concept, because there also we are not disposing or creating the waste, we are recycling or repairing the electronic good, and this is how we are obtaining the circular economy's objective. Now coming back to this news, out of these 500 waste to wealth plants, 200 will be compressed biogas plants, including 75 plants in urban areas. 300 community or cluster based plants will be established at the cost of 10,000 crore. So this much investment will be required. Where was the third employment working group meeting organized? So Geneva is the right answer. Okay, so this was the G20 employment working group meeting. So you must have thought that it must be Gandhinagar, but no guys, it is Geneva at the headquarters of International Labour Organization, and that makes it unique. Okay, so the fourth and final meeting of the employment working group and the labor and employment ministers meeting will be held in Indore, at Indore in July. Recently, French railway company Alstom has won the 30,000 rupee contract from India for manufacturing and maintenance of 100 aluminium body Vande Bharat trains. Prime Minister Narendra Modi planned to run 75 Vande Bharat trains by which year? So by 2024, he had visioned to have 75 Vande Bharat trains. Okay. Match the following categories of MSMEs with their classification criteria. Okay, not a very new question. You must be prepared for such a question. And I hope all of you who are there in this session, you must have gone through the spotlight or the daily current affairs that I am providing you so far. So you must be knowing the answer of this question. Please tell me the right answer. Yes. Okay, so the medium enterprises, so this is wrong. This is not a correct connection. But for micro, the investment is 1 crore. The turnover requirement is 5 crore. For small, the investment is 10 crore. The requirement is 50 crore. Can anyone tell me what is the requirement of investment for medium and the annual turnover requirement for the medium enterprises? Okay, investment bata do chalo. Let me tell you the turnover. It is 250 crores. How much should be the investment in plant and machinery or equipment by a company to be classified as a medium enterprise? Yes, 50 crore should be the investment in plant and machinery by an organization to be classified as your medium organization. Okay, the news is that Uttar Pradesh government has launched a 15-day registration campaign for the MSMEs in all its 75 districts. Okay, so from here we have a static fact that Uttar Pradesh has 75 districts. Okay, the purpose of this campaign is to provide a platform for the MSMEs in the state to register themselves and avail the benefits of the government schemes. Okay, the campaign aims at covering the 14 lakh MSMEs that are not yet registered on the MSME Udyam portal. Okay, Udyam registration we have just talked in the PM Swanidhi news. Now it is again here. Okay, so what is your responsibility? Udyam registration portal के बारे में you have to cover everything. Okay, background पढ़ना बहुत जरूरी है. So please cover the Udyam registration portal's background from your static course. Now coming to the news. So yeah, the basic purpose of enrolling these MSMEs is to give them the benefit of the various schemes. In the micro category, the investment is 1 crore, 5 crore. In small category, in the small enterprise category, 10 crore investment, 50 crore turnover. In medium category, 50 crore investment, 250 crore turnover. So that is the limit. The registration can avail free insurance coverage of up to 5 lakh under the accident insurance scheme in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Do remember this fact as well. Recently, the Strategic Forces Command carried out a successful training launch of a medium-range ballistic missile Agni-1. What is the range of this missile? So 700 to 900 kilometers is the range. Okay, so let me just tell you that Strategic Forces Command is the Tri-Services Command stationed in Andaman and Nicobar. Okay, so Andaman and Nicobar. Do remember, and we have at present this one, and we have your nuclear command, which these two are the theater commands at present in India, but the government is planning to create more integrated theater commands in India. Can anyone of you tell me how many theater commands does the government want to create? Ballistic missile is basically that missile which leaves the atmosphere, which goes into space and then hits its target, and it is used for long distances. Okay, that is a ballistic missile. But supersonic is a variant, you can say, but or you can say it is a type of missile which has speed which is more than the sound. Okay, 1 Mach equals to the speed of the sound. Okay, so the supersonic missile is that missile which has more you can say speed than the speed of the sound, and we know sound travels really fast. Okay, so the missile which can travel faster than the sound, that missile would be classified as supersonic missile. And right now the missile that India has which is supersonic is BrahMos, which is cruise. Okay, so moving ahead, Strategic Forces Command carried out the Agni 1's test. Let me just tell you that Agni missile, one more thing, that Agni Prime was also tested in June month only, and when I will discuss about Agni Prime, I will tell you all about Agni. So right now just focus on this Agni 1. So features of this missile is that it is single stage solid fuel missile, which makes it easier to maintain and deploy. It has a range of 700 to 900 kilometers, which can strike targets in Pakistan and China. It can carry nuclear warhead. Okay, usually what can be asked from you from a missile is the distance or the range of the missile, so that would suffice. Okay, range yaad kar loge, that would be enough. Which countries hosted the multinational Arctic challenge exercise? ACE. So here guys, Scandinavian countries, Finland, Norway and Sweden. Sweden is the partner country in this exercise. Okay, Finland and Norway were the allies of were the host of Arctic challenge exercise, which took place from 29th May to 9th June. ACE was launched in 2013 and it is held every second year. Participants are total NATO countries and 14 other nations. In total, the exercise will be conducted in 4 bases. Okay, so Norway, Sweden and Finland, these are the places, and here we have different bases where the exercise will take place. US Gerald R. Ford is the largest warship ever built, and it will also participate in the exercise. So do remember this warship. The next question is the Times Higher Education Impact Ranking, which assesses universities against the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, has been released for 2023. Which Indian institution has ranked among the top institutions in the SDG 5? Okay, not the overall ranking, but a particular SDG ranking has been asked from you, and the right answer here is Manipal Academy of Higher Education. So Times Higher Education Impact Ranking was first launched in 2019. Okay, and it is the first of its kind and the only you can say ranking which ranks the universities and institutions on the basis of their implementation of SDGs. Okay, so 1,591 universities from 112 countries were assessed. Research, stewardship, outreach and teaching were the parameters. Okay, usually from such rankings the questions are not asked in the RBI examination that we have seen in the past years. But what you can do is you should remember the Indian institutions which have ranked at the top in this ranking. Okay, because that can be asked from you. Even if you are not able to remember the total universities, that is okay, because no exam asks you the total number of universities that are covered in the ranking. Okay, but as a teacher, it's my responsibility to inform you that these many universities and these many countries were assessed. Parameters are important, top ranked important, and India's top ranked are important. Top ranked में Western Sydney University from Australia, followed by University of Manchester, UK, Queen's University of Canada. 1, 2 and 3, these are in the overall categories. Okay, so if we look at the performance of these universities on all the SDGs, India's top ranked is Amrita Vishwa Peetham, Coimbatore, which was ranked at the 52nd position in the overall category. Then In individual SDGs, the universities from India which have performed really well are the Manipal Academy of Higher Education, which has got the 4th rank in the SDG 5, which is gender equality. One more thing, SDGs are here, okay, SDGs to आपको करने ही है, plus if you get the time and if you have prepared well, Millennium Development Goals, if you can look out for them, then also it would be fine for you, it would be in your benefit only. SDG 7, affordable and clean energy. So IIT Guwahati has ranked at the 6th position in this particular SDG, and it has many universities from this, from India in this category. Next question is, recently MoPay, the fintech firm of Stell Apps, has collaborated with IBISA Network, HDFC Ergo and Gram Cover to introduce an innovative insurance plan called MoMark for farmers based on the heat index. It is the first of its kind initiative in India. Which of the following is not a feature of this insurance plan? So here you have been given 5 features. Please look at the features and then tell me the right answer, guys. 70 questions are there in this PDF. Okay. The way Mr. Israel has asked me the number of questions seems that you are not interested in the process. Try to trust the process and be interested in the process. Only then you will reach your destination within no time and seamlessly. Okay, so what is the right answer? Yes, option D is the right answer, because this plan has no plans to be integrated with the National Dairy Development Plan as of now. Okay? Apart from this, all the statements mentioned in the options are correct. Okay, so first of all, let me tell you that this is the first time such a product has been launched in the insurance industry. That too by a fintech firm, MoPay. Do remember this point as well. Okay, and the insurance company which is partnering is HDFC Ergo. The purpose of this insurance plan is to compensate the dairy farmers who are the beneficiaries of this MoMark insurance plan for the income loss that they will generate or incur, more precisely, due to the increased heat. Okay, because heat also have an impact on the productivity of humans, then animals पे तो होगा ही होगा. ठीक है, तो the loss in the productivity of the cattle, that will be compensated through this MoMark insurance plan. It provides coverage to farmers if temperatures exceed a specified limit for a predetermined number of days during a 60-day period starting from May 1st, taking into account region-specific parameters. The reason why we are covering this particular product in such a detail is that it is industry's first product. Okay. Secondly, it is going to change the insurance segment specifically related to the dairy. Okay, so that is why it is important for us to cover this particular product in detail. Each insured cattle is eligible for a maximum coverage of rupees 2,000. Currently the insurance cover is limited to 1 cattle per household. Initially MoMark is covering approximately 7,000 farmers across 5 districts of 4 states, with a total sum assured exceeding rupees 1.3 crores. Not very significant at present. Just remember, in 4 states this product has been launched. Awareness about this product is being spread through the village level collection centers and the Stell Apps Smart Farms application. So do remember, Smart Farms application belongs to this particular organization. Which state witnessed the highest job creation in the formal sector in FY23 according to the Employees Provident Fund Organization's payroll reporting data analysis? Okay, so here Maharashtra is the right answer. So recently EPFO has released the data based on its payroll reporting. Okay, how many people have entered into the payroll system, because EPFO works like that. 1.39 crore people have found new formal jobs in India in FY23. Formal ही होंगी because Provident Fund is deducted, or you can say Provident Fund is a kind of social security, okay, and it is deducted in formal jobs only, majority of the formal jobs only. This is a 13% increase compared to FY22. EPFO assesses the firms which employ at least 20 people. Maharashtra witnessed the highest job creation in the formal sector, accounting for 22% of the new job creation. 30.28 lakh payroll additions were from Maharashtra only. Tamil Nadu is at the second position with 14.05 net new payroll additions. Then Karnataka, Haryana, Gujarat have bagged the third, fourth and fifth position. So top 5 states, guys, is important for you to remember. Which company is going to set up a giga factory for manufacturing lithium ion cells with an estimated initial investment of around 130 billion in Gujarat? So Tata Group, guys, is the right answer. Right now we are a lot dependent on China for the import of lithium ion batteries, and now we need to curb this, and for that Niti Aayog is also creating a plan. What is the maximum tenure and maximum deposit amount permitted under the ACE fixed deposit scheme of the RBL bank? So guys, the maximum amount is rupees 2 crore. 240 month is the maximum tenure. 50 lakh to 2 crore is the total amount in this FD, and 12 to 240 is the tenure. Okay, so you can have the FD from 12 months to 240 months. RBL bank has also revised its FD rates, which are not very important. Just for your information, this fact has been provided here. What is the fiscal deficit target set by the government in the union budget of 2023 to 2024? So 6.4% target was set, and we all should be glad that the government was able to achieve the target of fiscal deficit that it has set for itself. Now, this data was released by the Controller General of Accounts, that the government's fiscal deficit target of 2022 to 2023 has reached 6.4% of the GDP. Okay, so here guys, there is a mistake. I told you the fiscal deficit target of 2022 to 2023, but the right answer is 5.9% in this particular question, because it is asking you for the FY24, and 6.4% is the data for FY23. Finance Ministry has set itself a target to narrow the deficit for FY24 to 5.9% and FY26 to 4.5%. This data is very important. Now here we have a little bit of you can say discrepancy, or you need to pay attention to this fact that 6.4% was the fiscal deficit target that the government has set for itself in the union budget. Now some newspapers are saying that the fiscal deficit was 6.36% for the said year. Okay, and if you see that there is a very marginal difference between these two targets, okay, these two percentages. So what is the reason behind this discrepancy? Let me tell you. Guys, the actual fiscal deficit in amount is 17.33 lakh crore, whereas the revised estimates put it at 17.55 lakh crore. So you can clearly see the difference is there. And this difference is, guys, 0.4% difference, which you can see in 6.4% and 6.36%. Okay, so there is a leading newspaper which is saying that this is the fiscal deficit target, and majority of the news articles are saying 6.4% target. And nevertheless, whichever is the target, the good news is that Government of India was able to achieve its target. Okay, in case there is a question in the examination on the fiscal deficit target of FY23 and you get any of these two percentages in the examination, then you will definitely mark one of these two, okay, whichever is there in the options. But in case you get both of them in the question, which is very, I would say, very meekly, there are very meek chances of that happening. But in case that happens, then in my opinion, you should mark 6.36% as the right answer. Okay. If the question asks you, according to the Controller General of Accounts report, what is the fiscal deficit target for FY23? If that has been mentioned, then you should mark 6.36%. But in case the question specifically asks you the target set by the budget, then you have to mark 6.4%, because budget made it was 6.4%. I hope that this much is clear. Now total receipts were this much, direct tax collection was this much, gross GST collection was 18.10 lakh crore, which is up by 22%. Average gross monthly collection in the last year was 1.51 lakh crore. Okay. Overall expenditure was 41.89 lakh crores. Capital expenditure was 7.28 lakh crore. And this is, guys, cited as one of the major reasons for a lesser fiscal deficit of India, because now we were able to increase the capital expenditure and reduce our revenue expenditure. 34.5 trillion was the revenue expenditure. Next question is, recently RBI has proposed a framework for overall information security with an emphasis on cyber resilience to improve the safety and security of the payment systems operated by the payment system operators. The framework has proposed a phased implementation of the guidelines by the PSOs. What is the timeline for large, medium and small non-bank PSOs for implementation respectively? So here, guys, option D is the right answer. 2024, 2026, 2028 is the right answer. Okay? Some newspapers like Hindu's Business Line, this particular newspaper mentioned 2025 as the year for the medium non-bank PSOs, but guys, this is not right, because according to RBI's report, official guideline, 2026 is the year for the medium PSOs. Okay, so don't get confused. So this is the picture directly from RBI's website. So large non-bank PSOs will have to comply by 2024, medium will have to comply by 2026, small will have to comply by 2028. IRDAI has released the draft guidelines for Bima Vahaks to establish a dedicated distribution channel at the level of Gram Panchayats. These guidelines are focused on enhancing insurance inclusion and creating awareness in every Gram Panchayat and to address the local needs within every Gram Panchayat and village. These guidelines divide the Bima Vahaks into two categories, which are named as dash and dash. So what is the right answer? Corporate and individuals. So we have two Bima Vahak categories, corporates and individuals. These corporates will be the legal persons registered in accordance with the respective laws engaged by the, and they will be appointed by the insurers. Individual Bima Vahaks can be appointed by the corporate Bima Vahaks also. Okay. So in the hierarchy, it would be like corporate and then individual Bima Vahaks. And Bima Vahak is basically what? It's like you have the banking correspondents that help you enroll in the banking services and avail those services. Similarly, these Bima Vahaks will also help the people to enroll in the insurance services and also settle their claims. Okay, so it will basically ease out the process of insurance in India, especially in the rural India. And this is how they are planning to increase the reach of insurance and achieve insurance for all by the year 2047. Which organization has recently reduced its forecast for India's annual growth by 50 basis points to 5.5% for 2024 fiscal and projected 7.2% growth rate for FY23. So guys, JP Morgan has recently reduced the forecast for India and projected this much growth rate for India. Who has been elected as the president of the 78th session of the UNGA, which is scheduled for September 5 to 19 in New York, the headquarters of United Nations. So here, guys, Dennis Francis from Trinidad and Tobago is the right answer. 78th sessions, you can say the vision of the president of this session, Dennis Francis, is peace, prosperity, progress and sustainability. Okay, so they are going to focus on these you can say pillars, or you can say on these themes. Who has been appointed as the first female Secretary General of the World Meteorological Organization? This organization is in the news. Its first female Secretary General, its president and vice presidents have been chosen right now. So please cover this organization thoroughly. Celeste Saulo is the right answer. Okay, now Dr. Abdullah Al-Mandos from UAE has been selected as the new president for a 4-year term from 2023 to 2027. And from India, Mrityunjay Mohapatra has been chosen as one of the 3 vice presidents. Okay, so president, vice president and secretary general, all of them have been appointed recently. So do remember this fact as well. The other 2 people are Owen Morin and this person from Ivory Coast. When is the International Sex Worker Rights Day observed? So March 3rd is the right answer. On June 2nd, International Sex Workers Day or International Horse Day was celebrated, not celebrated but observed. Theme was decriminalization and empowerment. As per an article of Livement, access to justice is the theme of this day. Now sometimes you get this confusion, okay? Some newspapers mention a certain theme and other newspapers mention a different theme for the same day. In that case, what you should do? In my opinion, if you ask me, याद दोनों ही कर लो, क्योंकि अगर आपको एग्जाम में इन दोनों में से कोई एक थीम क्वेश्चन में आती है, ठीक है, and you don't get the other theme in the options, then you can mark that theme as your answer. Because Livement is also a trusted newspaper. It is not an unauthentic website. So that is the thing that you need to know. One more thing, that International Sex Workers Rights Day is observed on March 3rd. Sex Worker Pride Day is on September 14, and December 17 we celebrate International Day to End Violence Against Sex Workers. Which bank has established the Rashtra Bhasha Samman Award in June 2023? So Bank of Baroda is the right answer. So guys, this is the first award that this bank has established, and this award will be given to the authors and translators of literary works in Hindi. Okay, so every writer who has written in Hindi or every translator who has translated another work, a work in another language into Hindi, both of them will be awarded. So the author of the original work and the respective Hindi translator will also be awarded, and the author will receive 21 lakh rupees, 15 lakh will be given to the translator. The authors and the Hindi translators of the next 5 shortlisted books will receive 3 lakh rupees and 2 lakh rupees each. Union Minister of Education and Skill Development Dharmendra Pradhan has released UGC institutions deemed to be universities regulations 2023. What is the corpus requirement for the private institutions to apply for the status of deemed university as per the revised regulations? So 25 crore is the right answer. So there were regulations in June, and according to those regulations, there were certain guidelines according to which the private universities will have to apply for the status of deemed university, right? Now, what is important from the exams perspective? First is the faculty strength that has been recommended by this regulation, which is 150. Okay? Second is the corpus. So the corpus has been raised from 10 crore to 25 crore. So this is also important for you to remember. Where is the National Center for Dam Safety from Earthquake set up? So Jaipur is the right answer. So at the Malviya National Institute of Technology in Jaipur, this center has been set up, and 30 crore rupees were given by the Ministry of Jal Shakti, because we are talking about the dam safety. Okay? So do remember Ministry of Jal Shakti. Earthquake bhi hai, so don't confuse it with Ministry of Earth Sciences or Science and Tech. No, it's dam se related hai, so it's Ministry of Jal Shakti. 30 crore rupees have been given. The new center will handle the technology development related to structural and earthquake safety of all dams in the country. Now guys, here we have knowledge nuggets for you. So India has the third largest number of dams, 6,000 in the world. We have 6,000 dams, and this makes us the third largest country to have the largest number of dams. More than 25% of these dams have completed over 50% of their lifespan, and several are a few hundred years old. And as the dam gets older, it needs maintenance. Okay, so that is the thing, and we need to work on the maintenance. And in order to improve the maintenance of these dams, Dam Safety Act 2021 was introduced, or rather enacted. So it provides for the surveillance, inspection and operation and maintenance of the specified dams for the prevention of dam failure related disasters. Recently, Department of Pharmaceuticals organized the Global Vaccine Research Collaborative Discussion, which was focused on the vaccine research and development, building consensus for future health emergencies, prevention, preparedness and response. The discussion was organized on the sidelines of G20 Health Working Group meeting in Hyderabad. So what is the right answer? Guys, third edition of G20 Health Working Group meeting was organized in Hyderabad, and on the sidelines of this meeting, the Global Vaccine Research Collaborative discussion took place. So Department of Pharmaceuticals, Program for Appropriate Technology in Health, Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovation, they have collaborated and created the Global Vaccine Research Collaborative. Identify the correct statement from the options given below. Read out the statement, guys. First statement is Aroma Mission aims to bring an additional area of 30,000 hectares under cultivation. This will help in production of an additional 700 tons of essential oil, which will generate a business of at least 200 crores. It aims to increase the income of farmers through cultivation of high value and high demand aromatic crops by about 30,000 to 60,000 hectares per year. So what is the right answer? The right answer is option E. All these statements are correct. Now what is the news? The news is that the Indian Institute of Integrative Medicine in Jammu has organized the Lavender Festival at Bhaderwa in Doda district of Jammu division. Bhaderwa has emerged as the lavender capital of India. Do remember this fact as well. Now, Aroma Mission is being used to increase the cultivation of lavender, and that is why the Aroma Mission is connected to the Lavender Festival, and you should cover the Aroma Mission in detail. So, this mission aims to bring an additional area of 30,000 hectares under the cultivation of the aromatic crops. And this will increase the area under cultivation of aromatic crops to about 60,000 hectares. This will help in production of an additional 700 tons of essential oil for perfumery, cosmetics, pharmaceutical industries, and use of these oils will create rupees 200 crores in value. This mission also aims to increase the income of the farmers through the cultivation of high value and high demand aromatic crops. So the income of the farmers will be increased from the increment in the income will be rupees 30,000 to 60,000 per hectare per year. About 45,000 skilled human resource will also be developed in convergence with the Skill India initiative. Okay. Where was the Asia's largest, ambitious and historic cluster development scheme launched? So here it is again Maharashtra. I hope this is visible. It is readable. Recently, the International Finance Corporation and the NABFID have signed an MOU to collaborate on identifying and developing the public-private partnership projects to bolster the India's infrastructure sector. The National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development is a specialized development finance institution in India aimed at supporting the country's infrastructure, which can significantly gain from an enabling credit flow by means of attractive instruments and channelized investment. Considering this, identify the correct statement from the options given below. So here the options have been given to you. Read out the statements and tell me what is the right answer. Yes, all these statements are correct, and no option tells you this fact that all these statements are correct. Hence, option E is the right answer here. None of those given as options is the correct answer here. Why? Because all these statements are correct and no option is providing you the option containing all these four statements. Next question is identify the incorrect statement with regards to the National Institutional Ranking Framework. So here you have been given different statements. The right answer here is option C. IISc Bangalore has not topped in the overall ranking. The overall category has been topped by the IIT Madras. So overall, IIT Madras is at the top. Universities में it is IISc Bangalore. Then in colleges, Miranda House. Then in research institutions ranking, IISc Bangalore again. Engineering में IIT Madras. Management में IIM Ahmedabad. Pharmacy में it is the National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research in Hyderabad, medical, AIMS Delhi, dental, Savita Institute of Medical and Technical Sciences, Chennai, law, National Law School of India, University, Bangalore, agriculture, IIT Roorkee, agriculture and allied sectors, Indian Agriculture Research Institute, Delhi, innovation, IIT Kanpur. All these rankings are important. Which bank has launched its latest advertising campaign titled My Account Starts Today? So HSBC India is the right answer. The campaign has chosen Virat Kohli as its ambassador. Which bank has launched Project Kuber in Bangalore to source, facilitate and cater to various banking needs of the customers? So it is State Bank of India. Okay, so it would serve as the one, basically under the Project Kuber, the banking hub will be created by SBI. Okay, and these banking hubs will serve as one-stop destination for all payment and connection related requirement, and it would also offer services to the corporates and the individuals. Which bank has launched interoperable cardless cash withdrawal facility wherein a customer can withdraw cash using UPI from the bank's ATM? So here Bank of Baroda is the right answer. Again, Bank of Baroda is in the news. Okay. So do remember things about Bank of Baroda, the background facts like the government's share in the bank, the tagline of the bank, the headquarters of the bank, obviously Baroda here, the current chairperson of the bank. So all these facts should be remembered by you, and all the new initiatives of the bank. Now this is, guys, the cash withdrawal from the ATMs by using the UPI, and it is the first of its kind service right now in India. It's the first public sector bank to launch this service in India. When was the US-India Initiative on Critical Emerging Technology launched to elevate and expand the strategic technology partnership and defense industrial cooperation between the two countries? So in 2022, this was launched. President Joe Biden and Narendra Modi launched this US-India Initiative on Critical and Emerging Technology to connect the government, academia and industry in the areas of artificial intelligence, quantum computing, 6G and 5G, biotech, space and semiconductors. Which country has conferred the Grand Order of the Chain of Yellow Star upon President Draupadi Murmu? So it's Suriname, where she paid the official visit. What is the outlay of Central Sector Exploration of Coal and Lignite Scheme for FY 22 to 26? So 2,980 crore rupees is the total outlay of this scheme. Recently, the central government has extended this scheme with an outlay of 2,980 crore rupees. The extension is from FY 22 to FY 26. And this is basically the timeline of the 5th Finance Commission also. So in conjunction with the time period of the 15th Finance Commission, this scheme has been extended. Okay. Do remember the 16th Finance Commission will be created in this year only, later part. Okay. In the later months of this year. Can any one of you tell me which article of the Constitution provides for the creation of Finance Commission? Okay, moving ahead, under this scheme, exploration for coal and lignite is conducted in two broad stages: promotional regional exploration and detailed exploration in known Coal India Limited blocks. Okay, so this scheme has two components. First is this, second is this. The approval will provide an outlay of 1,650 crore for the first component and 1,330 crore for the second component of the scheme. Where was the International Conference on Spacecraft Mission Operations organized? So it was organized in India, in Bangalore. There ISRO announced that Chandrayaan-3 mission will be launched in July this year. Okay. Theme of this conference was Emerging Technologies and Automation in Space Mission Operations and Ground Segment. Where was the 3-day National Conference on Recent Advances in School, also known as Shiksha Mahakumbh, organized? So here, guys, NIT Jalandhar is the right answer. NIT Jalandhar's full name is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar National Institute of Technology in Jalandhar. Organizers of this Shiksha Mahakumbh were Sarva Hitkari, Shiksha Samiti of Punjab and NIT Jalandhar. Theme of this particular conference was integration of Bharatiya traditional and modern education systems for sustainability. Okay, so Union Minister Anurag Thakur addressed the conference, not very significant. Moving ahead, the EU-India Global Gateway Conference took place in Shillong, Meghalaya. Launched in December, the Global Gateway Strategy aims to work towards the fulfillment of goals identified by the Paris Agreement on Climate Change and the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. The Global Gateway aims to mobilize up to in investments by year. What is the right answer here? The right answer is this. In 2021, the Global Gateway Strategy was launched and it aims to mobilize 300 billion euros by the year 2027, and the basic agenda of the Global Gateway Strategy is to achieve the goals of Paris Agreement and Sustainable Development Goals. And all of this is written here. National Mission for Mentoring has been launched under the National Education Policy 2020 for creation of a large pool of outstanding professionals willing to provide mentoring to school teachers and ensure their continuous professional development. National Council for Teacher Education launched the National Mission for Mentoring in pilot mode in July in selected 30 central schools across the country. Who is the current chair of NCTE? So it is Yogesh Singh. Recently, Union Minister of Jal Shakti released the progress report of the Jal Jeevan Mission Swachh Jal Se Suraksha campaign, which was organized from 2nd October 2022 to March this year. The campaign aims to emphasize water quality monitoring and surveillance activities by states and UTs. The progress made under these activities was reported on the WQMIS portal. So what does M stand for in this full form of WQMIS? Quickly tell me, what does M stand for? Management. Absolutely right. Option C is correct. So the full form is Water Quality Management Information System. Okay. Jal Jeevan Mission, Water Quality Management Information System. The states which have performed the best are Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh. Next question is, India is planning to join the Pharmaceutical Inspection Cooperation Scheme, an international regime that fosters cooperation between countries and regulatory authorities in good manufacturing practices to improve the quality of their medical products. The decision was triggered by the death of 66 children in Gambia that were linked to toxic Indian-made cough syrups. The Pharmaceutical Inspection Cooperation Scheme is a non-binding informal cooperative arrangement between regulatory authorities in the field of good manufacturing practices of medicinal products for human or veterinary use. When was it launched and how many members are there in this forum? So guys, it was launched in the year 1995 and 54 members are there in this forum. Okay. Apart from this, you have read everything in the question itself. India is planning to join this commission. Okay, and this commission is a non-binding voluntary forum for the regulatory authorities who want to join in for having good quality pharmaceutical products. The next question is, the Ministry of Power and the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy have jointly launched Mahir mission to use emerging technologies in the power sector. Identify the incorrect statement with regards to the scheme. Here the statements are mentioned. Quickly read the statements and then tell me the right answer. What is the right answer here? Yes, option B is correct. Very good. I'm impressed, guys, that you are preparing really hard and you all are prepared. Very good. Yes, option 2 is the correct answer. Option 2, that is only 3 is the correct answer. Why? Because this statement is Incorrect. This is not the implementation period of MAHIR. So let's discuss the scheme in detail. First of all, MAHIR stands for Mission on Advanced and High Impact Research. Okay, Mission on Advanced and High Impact Research. 2-3 बार इसको बोलोगे याद हो जाएगा. But do remember, full form of MAHIR is important. Then the purpose is to use the emerging technologies in the power sector, and India's power sector is reeling under the losses that we all know. So in order to have emerging technologies that can optimize the operations and reduce the losses, then what is the loss on our side? Okay, so that is why this scheme has been launched by the Ministry of Power and Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Tenure is from FY24 to FY28. Okay. Where is India's first carbon neutral village being developed? So it is being developed in the Thane district. Which state is implementing the following initiatives? So you have been given 4 initiatives. Quickly tell me which state is implementing these initiatives. Let's see how many of you know the answer. Tapan is giving the answer even before I read out the full question. That's nice. It shows your preparation level, that you have prepared every question that I have provided you in the daily current affairs. Nice. Haryana is the right answer. All these initiatives have been launched by Haryana government. Next question is, Karnataka CM has announced to launch Griha Jyoti free electricity scheme. Under the scheme, the beneficiaries must enroll on the dash portal of the state government. So here guys, Seva Sindhu portal of the government is there for the beneficiaries to get themselves enrolled, and on the basis of the information given on the Seva Sindhu portal, the procedure will be taken further. Okay, for example, the electricity company will assess the average annual usage of electricity, etc., etc. In my opinion, this much is not important for you to remember as far as this Griha Jyoti free electricity scheme is concerned. One more thing, that Griha Lakshmi scheme has also been announced by Karnataka government, under which the financial assistance will be given to the women led households. Okay, so women को ही दिया जाएगा, but उन households को दिया जाएगा where the women is the head. Uttar Pradesh government has launched the portal, this http familyid.up.government.in for creation of family ID under one family, one identity scheme, to establish a comprehensive database of family units of the state and to connect at least one member of each family with employment. The ID will consist of dash digit number. So here guys, 12-digit number is the right answer. Okay, I hope you can trace the pattern. I am asking you the questions on the digits of various IDs. For example, the Bhu-Aadhar's ID, for example, Abha ID's digit, for example, the hallmark ID that is to be there on the gold products. Okay, so for such things, please remember the number of digits and the pattern. Alphanumeric hai ya numeric hai. So that is also important from my opinion, in my opinion. Which state has launched Nand Baba Milk Mission scheme at a cost of 1,000 crores to increase milk production on the one hand and to give milk producers fair prices for their produce in the villages itself? So guys, Uttar Pradesh is the right answer, which is at present the leading milk producer in India. So Uttar Pradesh has launched this Nand Baba Milk Mission scheme. The outlay of this scheme is 1,000 crore. The purpose is to increase the milk production and at the same time ensure that the dairy farmers get the fair value for their product. The entire country produces 221 million metric tons of milk, and Uttar Pradesh alone produces 33 million metric tons of milk. The national level per person consumption of milk is estimated at 444 grams, whereas in Uttar Pradesh, for Uttar Pradesh alone, the per person milk availability is 392 grams. Okay, so that is also important The percentage of the organized and unorganized sectors in milk collection is 21% and 79% respectively. Next is, which state is developing the Prerna Inspirational, the Vernacular School Initiative? So Gujarat is developing this initiative. DRDO successfully tested the Agni Prime missile from APJ Abdul Kalam Island. Agni Prime is a new generation nuclear capable medium range ballistic missile. How many Agni missiles have been developed in India so far? So here let me clarify that Agni 1, Agni 2, 3, 4, 5. They are already tested and operationalized. Agni Prime has now been tested. ठीक है. Agni 6 is under construction, under development. So how many Agni missiles do we have? 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this is the 6th Agni Prime missile. Okay, now this missile is under development. So clearly we have 6 missiles at present, 6 of Agni variant. One more thing, that it is the 7th Agni variant missile, but the name of this missile is Agni 6. Okay, so that is there. Please remember this fact. One more thing that I want to highlight here is that the Integrated Missile Development Program was launched in 1983, got approval in 1983, and it was proposed by the former president APJ Abdul Kalam. So here in this particular project, 5 missiles were proposed. Okay, so out of these 5 missiles, the Agni is one missile. So do remember that Agni is being developed under the Integrated Missile Development Program, because that can be asked also. Which company has received the approval for producing the Varunastra, a ship-launched anti-submarine heavyweight torpedo? Do remember, Varunastra is a torpedo. So Bharat Dynamics Limited has been given the responsibility of producing the torpedo. Where is India developing the Fukot Karnali Hydroelectric project? So Nepal is the region where it is developing. Which country is hosting the Air Defender 23 drill? One of the biggest air deployment drills in NATO's history from June 2012 to 21. So Germany is the right answer. Okay, so NATO is organizing the ACE exercise, and this is another exercise, Air Defender 2023. Which nation has recently withdrawn from the 38 nation combined maritime forces, the US-led maritime coalition tasked with securing 10 Gulf waterways that are vital to the global oil trade? So here guys, UAE has recently withdrawn from this coalition. So this coalition was launched in 2001 and 12 countries were partners in this coalition. And the basic idea is to protect the waterways. Okay, Strait of Hormuz is one of the important or strategic locations from where 90% of the natural gas and oil trade is conducted. Okay, which space agency has launched the Mars Express spacecraft? So ESA is the right answer, European Space Agency. In 2003 this spacecraft was launched. BSE and NSE have launched an enhanced surveillance mechanism for companies that have a market cap of less than 500 crores. RBI has constructed the Financial Inclusion Index in 2021 to measure the extent of financial inclusion. The Financial Inclusion Index includes information on the banking, investment, insurance, postal and pension sectors. What is the score range of this index? So here guys, 0 to 100 is the score range. What is the news exactly? The news is not about the Financial Inclusion Index. The news is about the new portal launched by the RBI Governor Shaktikant Das. So it is guys Antardrishti. This Antardrishti portal aims to provide the information about the financial inclusion in India, and at the same time Antardrishti will be used to provide the information about the areas which are not being given the financial services. Okay, so which are financially excluded areas. So in order to include those areas, because once we know which areas are excluded, only then we can take the initiative or steps to include those areas within the financial sector. So that is the basic idea of Antardrishti. Let's talk about Financial Inclusion Index as well, which was launched in 2021. So banking, investment, insurance, postal, pension, 5 sectors are covered in it. It records the data on different aspects of financial inclusion in a single value ranging from 0 to 100, where 0 denotes total financial exclusion and 100 denotes complete financial inclusion. FI index comprises 3 parameters: access 35% weightage, usage 45% weightage, quality 20% weightage. Weightage is also important. How much money is the National Bank for Financing Infrastructure Development expected to raise through a 10-year non-convertible debenture? Do remember, NAPFID is again in the news. Okay, just now we have discussed its MOU with IFSC. Now again it is in the news. So NAPFID को अच्छे से prepare कर लेना. You can expect a question. 10,000 crore rupees are expected to be raised by NAPFID. Which of the following statements are incorrect about the revival packages of BSNL? So read the statements, tell me the right answer. Incorrect statements regarding the revival packages of BSNL. Recently, a revival package has been announced. So please tell me the right answer here. So here guys, option C is the right answer. All of these statements are incorrect. Let me show you the correct statements. First revival package was announced in 2019 for the revival of BSNL and MTNL. The amount of that was 69,000 crores. Second package was announced in 2022. The amount of that is 1.64 lakh crores. And the basic agenda behind this revival package was to give the money to BSNL so that it can undertake spectrum allocation activity. Basically, it can participate in the spectrum allocation bid, and it can also undertake capital expenditure and also for the viability gap funding. The third revival package, which has been recently announced and the worth of which is 89,047 crore rupees, is given to BSNL so that they can undertake the 4G and 5G spectrum allotment. Okay, so they can get the technology of 4G and 5G, and after getting this technology, they can spread the technology in the rural areas and the remote areas. The provision 23E of the Securities Contracts Regulation Act of 1956 states that any company violating listing conditions could attract a penalty of up to dash. So here 25 crore rupees is the right answer. Why is this particular provision of this particular act is there in the news? Because SEBI and your Securities Appellate Tribunal are basically at loggerheads for this particular provision. SEBI is saying that listing conditions requires every kind of listing norms that is there for the company, and these companies will have to comply with those listing you can say norms which are there in the market. Okay, whereas the Securities Appellate Tribunal is saying that listing conditions only pertain to the listing procedures, listing norms. Okay, when a company wants to list itself on BSE or NSE. So that's the dispute which is going on between these two agencies. What is the rank of Kerala, Goa and Jammu Kashmir in the State Food Safety Index 2023? Guys, first rank is the right answer. First of all, World Food Safety Day was celebrated on June 7th. Theme was Food Standards Save Lives. Fifth edition of the State Food Safety Index was released. Then the parameters of this index are mentioned here. One more thing, guys, this fifth parameter, improvement in SFSI ranking, that is improvement in the State Food Safety Index rank, is the new parameter introduced in this ranking. Okay, so do remember this fact. Earlier, there were 5 parameters mentioned on the website of the FSSA. First parameter is human resource and institutional data, which has 18% weightage. Compliance, which has 28% weightage, food testing infrastructure 17% weightage, training and capacity building 8% weightage, consumer empowerment 19% weightage, and improvement in the rankings is given 10% weightage. Weightage are also important. So here we have been given different categories of states and the total number of states in each category and the names of the states which are there in these categories. Okay. So Jammu and Kashmir has been taken as a union territory in this 5th edition of this index. Total 20 larger states, 8 small states and 8 union territories were assessed. Rankings: Jammu Kashmir first in the union territory, Delhi second, Chandigarh third. Small states mein it's Goa first, Manipur second, Sikkim third. Larger states: Kerala first, Punjab second, Tamil Nadu third. Guys, in every category, top 3 states are important. And here you have been given the rankings of the top 3 states in all the previous editions, okay, starting from the first edition. So you can have a look at these rankings. Dame Grand Companionship is the second highest honor of which country? So here New Zealand is the right answer. Recently, the former PM of New Zealand, Jacinda Ardern, was given the award. Which country is the host of the Special Olympics World Summer Games 2023? So Germany is the right answer. Okay. So Special Olympics is basically you can say a variant of Olympic that is there for the intellectually disabled people. Okay, so Special Olympics World Summer Games is the world's largest inclusive sport for the intellectual disabled people. One more thing, that Germany is hosting this Olympic for the very first time. Okay, so do remember this fact as well. 26 sports are there in this particular game. Special Olympics Bharat is the nodal agency in India for regulating and for participating in any kind of sports that are there for the intellectual disabled people. Okay, so do remember this fact as well. So here guys, all the questions are done for today. So here the session has come to an end. I hope you have enjoyed the session. Yes, 70 questions were there because we have 13 days on, in June only, which we have covered so far. And at the end of this month, you will get the entire month's current affairs session. Okay, the part 2 of this session will be there. And in that part 2, I will be covering the next questions, next part of the spotlight, you can say, the remaining questions that will be created in the month. Okay, thank you so much guys. I hope that you have enjoyed the session and prepare hard. All the best for your preparation.